And so I have decided to dedicate my life to expanding USANA into my community. And it's my desire that as I continue to work with this USANA family, this great USANA family, and I have to say that because when I was sitting in some of the sessions, I felt all of the positive and powerful energy that was in the room. And I said, this is a great group of people who have an incredible mission in life. And so I said, I want to be able to extend what we're already doing, not just to my people in America, but as I was looking and I saw where USANA has gone into other countries, I believe there's a place for USANA on the continent of Africa where business people can become a part of the USANA family, because there are business minds in Africa. And so I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help with that mission or what have you. But I know that the vision is a global vision. And one of the sad things that has often happened in our world, and I can say this just because of my exposure, is that usually when there's something that is powerful and excellent and great, those of us of the darker hue are oftentimes left out. Not intentionally, but nonetheless left out. And I did not want something that is so transforming to pass over the people that I know that look like me externally. Because really, internally, we are all alike. Thank you. And so I'm here because destiny has me here. My father knew that we lived in a toxic world. Dr. Wentz knows that we live in a toxic world. You know that we live in a toxic world. And although the focus may have been different, the mission was the same. And that mission is to detoxify our world of those things that keep us from living life to the fullest as God would have it. And so it's not an accident that I'm here today, 40 years after that speech, because 40 years represents really the number of generations. And I believe as I stand here today, if I had anything to say to my new family, it would be that we have something that's so powerful that can truly transform the human society. Because when I looked at my father's life and the methodology that he chose to fight against the disease of poverty, racism, and war, that being his philosophy of nonviolence, that in many ways that was his tool. That was like nutritional supplements and exercise and diet. That's what he used to fight those things. We use other things. But the reality is that in many ways, the way in which we in our world, and especially in the American society, treat our bodies is violent. And that violence ends up creating violent people. Because if your body is toxic, then your mind will be toxic. And if your mind's toxic, your spirit will be toxic. And instead of you being a productive, a creative, and a positive person, you end up being a negative, frustrated, depressed, oppressed, resentful, hateful, jealous, whatever person. And I believe this because I have seen my attitude and my mentality shift when I address my body appropriately, when I treat it as a temple of the Holy Spirit, when I understand that it is precious and that it is valuable, and that I cannot just put any and everything in it and expect to live a positive and a productive life. Because if I continue to feed myself toxins, then ultimately I'm going to be fighting against this negative force in my life that's going to keep me from being who I need to be fully and effectively. And so my father's philosophy of nonviolence was not just about the moral and the economic and the spiritual conditions, but it was also about how we handle our physical body. And so there is definitely a kinship. And therefore, what we are a part of, you don't see it necessarily today, but I see it. We are a part of a new movement. I want to say that again. We are a part of a new movement because we are a part of something that goes against the grain. People have not yet fully understood the importance of supplementation and the importance of it being precise and accurate and with integrity. And we are a part of a movement that is coloring outside the lines, that in many ways is revolutionary. And you are a part of it. You may not see it, as I said again, but you are part of a new movement. And that movement may not seem to have as many people as we would like to be a part